Namaste viewers and friends, very warm welcome to the new video, and today we are going to talk about a very important topic, which is how disease develops in Ayurveda. So as per Ayurveda, illness is the end result of a long process that can be found out and addressed at any stage of its progression. The disease begins with the disturbances in the balance of doshas, and temporary imbalances are quite normal. But the problem exists if these temporary imbalances lead to long-term aggravations. In the normal course of events, Vata, Pitta and Kapha go through the cycles of change in three stages, which is normally known as accumulation, aggravation and pacification. Accumulation is the stage when the dosha accumulates, it starts increasing in your body due to different reasons. Aggravation is a stage when this, after accumulation, it becomes vitiated, basically semi-vitiated, but still it starts becoming toxic and spreading in the body. And pacification is the stage when the dosha starts becoming normal or it starts reducing. So all doshas go through the same three stages, and the disease would develop if there is any discontinuation in this three cycle, or you can say the stage of progression. For example, the pitta starts accumulating in late spring, aggravates in hot summers and pacifies in autumn. Likewise, Vata and Kapha dosha as well. In different seasons, they accumulate, aggravate and pacify. If increased dosha isn't pacified naturally through the seasons, which can happen, then it undergoes the further vitiation and eventually disease develops. It means that when the dosha is aggravating, as per the cycle of the nature and as per the natural progression, it should go through the three stages and on its own it should pacify. But due to different reasons, due to wrong lifestyles, due to wrong selection of the food, and stress is also a very important trigger. Due to different combination of reasons, it might not pacify, and then eventually it keeps going in the vitiation, from aggravation to vitiation to super vitiation, and eventually the pathogenesis of the disease would happen. In that case, aggravated dosha would move into general circulation and into the deep connective tissues or any particular concerned tissues, whichever it selects to, because every dosha prone to select a particular tissue. Not all three doshas would target the same tissue, as we know. So that would create a pathological changes. So imbalance is disorder which people normally ignore, which they should not ignore if they live with awareness, but a lot of people would ignore these imbalances due to absence of awareness, and the consciousness which we basically need to live healthy and harmonious way would be lacking, and that would lead them to continue their wrong ways or the imbalanced lifestyle, and long-term condition of disorder is known as disease. So a disease is like a small baby. It has its own creation within the wombs of the body, and which is also known as the pathogenesis. The root cause of disease in Ayurveda basically would go in the three stages. The stage one, when the body's biological fire, which governs the transformation of matter, which is basically the five elements into energy, is of 13 major types. So when I'm talking about the 13 major types of Agni here, which is quite a detailed thing, I'm not going to describe all the 13 major types here, but there are 13 major types of Agni, fire in the body. Remember, fire transforms everything, as I told you before. So the most important of the fire, which is the digestive fire called Jataragni, which governs the digestion and assimilation of food. The other Agnis, which are nothing but the fire components of cells, tissues and organs, perform the physiological local process of digestion, nutrition and absorption. So when Agni is strong and balanced, so whatever you eat, when your Agni is strong and it's really supporting you, whatever you eat gets digested, assimilated and absorbed, and even the impurities or the waste products are eliminated from the body. But when doshas are aggravated because of multiple factors like poor diet, unhealthy lifestyle, negative emotions, emotional or mental stress, and a lot of other reasons, they first affect the Agni, which becomes unbalanced and unhealthy or disturbed. When Agni becomes weak or disturbed, then food is not digested properly, and these undigested food particles accumulate in the gastrointestinal tract. That is the basic foremost, I would call it a second stage actually, when it starts accumulating in the gastrointestinal tract and other sites in the body and turn into a toxic, foul smelling substance which is known as ama. Ama can also be known as the cellular metabolic waste mixed with different kind of bacteria, harmful bacteria or pathogens in the body. In the third stage of the disease process, the ama overflows from its natural sites of origin to other bodily channels such as blood vessels, arteries, lymphatic, and different channels through which different nutrients are transported in the body, and then they clog the pores of the cell membranes. So when the molecules of the toxic ama clog the channels, the cellular intelligence, which is known as prana, gets blocked, which freely flows between the different cells, and as a consequence some cells and tissues get blocked or deprived or malnourished, you can say. An isolated and deprived cell or the tissue is a secluded one, you can say it's an ignored one, which is not connected to the wholesome intelligence of the body mind, so which feels rejected, and it feels like being confused. So pathological changes begin to occur, but the root cause of this cytopathology is movement of ama. So ama must be eliminated, like you must eliminate the rubbish or the trash out of your home every single day. If you do not do it, then what would happen? That will start accumulating and rotting, and eventually it stinks and would probably create disease or some kind of a problem in your home. Of course, it starts stinking. The same way the ama is a toxic waste, it's a cellular metabolic waste which has to be regularly eliminated. Panchkarma is one technique in Ayurveda, which is known as five-fold detoxification in Ayurveda. It helps in elimination of ama itself. Panchkarma is all about elimination of ama, and 50% of your disease or disorders are gone when ama is gone. So the root cause of any disease is ama. However, it starts from the weak and the unhealthy digestion, which eventually started by the disturbed and the unhealthy Agni, which is the digestive fire. Now the question comes, why only certain organs or tissues get affected and not others? Well, the reason being that every individual has a genetic predisposition, like emotional, mental, and physical predispositions as well, which differs from individual to individual. So these aggravated or vitiated doshas enters a specific organ or a tissue or a system and weakens it, which are the weak zones or the vulnerable zones of the body. It eventually, due to the consequence of this, eventually those tissues or the system or organs becomes defective due to predispositions, as I mentioned before. So the weaker areas in the body can be compared to small potholes on the road. Like when you go, there are small potholes on the road, it means those are the weak zones in your body, So then certain lifestyle choices as well, like people smoke cigarettes, which affect lungs, and then people take excessive sugar intake, which affects the pancreas and the blood tissues. So the newly arrived aggravated humor dosha creates confusion within the cellular intelligence of the weaker tissues and overwhelms it. So changing its normal functioning and state would be a consequence basically. So eventually these tissues attain an altered state, which would lead to the change in the structure and the function of these tissues, which would be like alien to the body. And this is actually the root cause of the autoimmune and even the most fatal cancers actually, because those tissues become alien in the body and the body starts treating it like a foreign bacteria or a foreign molecule or a cell or a tissue and starts attacking on it. So up to this point, disease has not surfaced and it can be detected and rectified by an alert and conscious individual. However, if being ignored, it can progress into a full-blown disease, which is nothing but the manifestation stage. So hope this information which I've shared today in this video would help you to understand the concept of disease development. My students who are being enrolled in my courses already can completely correlate to this here, but even the first time viewers can comprehend it, because I tried my best to make it as simple as possible. However, there are few Sanskrit terms for which you have to join the courses and actually go through it. So please write your comments and suggestions about the topic on which you would like me to make videos here, because your suggestions are truly valuable. So keep yourself disease free till then. See you again soon in the next topic. Till then, stay blessed. Thank you. Namaste. For more such informative videos on yoga and Ayurveda, subscribe to our YouTube channel and press the notification bell. Thank you.